Hello, audience. My name is Dawson. His name is Justin.
Hello.
And welcome to our new show, Cinema Classics. This is the show where we're going to go and revisit some classics from the past and give our thoughts on them. Some of them we've seen, some of them we haven't. It's just going back, revisiting, and seeing what classic cinema has to offer. Um, so we're gonna do this kind of like we did some of our old shows, where we go back and forth on who chooses what this week or this video. I'm gonna be choosing the movie, and I'm not going way back, like say the 40s, going back. But I'm gonna go to a movie that I've wanted Justin to see for a very long time, and we haven't been able to watch it, and that is my favorite movie of all time, Good Will Hunting.
Oh, I thought we were going towards Titanic.
You thought? Is that what you thought, buddy?
A little bit, yeah.
My favorite movie of all time, Titanic.
That water was cold.
The water was really cold. No, this is my favorite movie of all time. It has been for a couple of years, and Justin has never seen it. And it's a movie that I just want him to watch for the first time. I hope he enjoys it for what it is. But yeah,
Let's get into it.
All right.
And we're back. So we just finished watching Good Will Hunting, and Dawson, would you please tell us the actors and synopsis?
Good Will Hunting is about Will Hunting, a janitor at MIT, has a gift for mathematics but needs help from a psychologist, to find direction in his life. This movie stars Matt Damon as Will, Ben Affleck as Chucky, of course Robin Williams as Sean, and a slew of other people in this movie. It's a packed movie full of a lot of people that familiar faces. Before we start, of course, this is an older movie, but if you have not seen this cinema classic, go watch it before you listen to us talk about it, because there will be spoilers, of course. Justin, I know my stance on it. I know what I have to say, but what do you think of Good Will Hunting?
I think it is an okay movie. It wasn't like some groundbreaking revelation in my life from watching this movie. But I thought it was a good story. I thought both Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Robin Williams all did great jobs in their respective roles. But it just I can partially see why it's your favorite movie. At the same time, like I'm still not quite sure. Like I can understand it's a good story, but at the same time, to me, it feels also like a basic story. It's the kid with unlimited potential, doesn't want to roll with it, so he just does the junky jobs and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So it's kind of it's I don't know. It was a good story, but it felt kind of like a basic story. But I will say that it had a lot of good parts, a lot of parts that made you laugh, a lot of parts that made you want to cry. I didn't personally. I feel like you said you might even at one point in your life, but me personally, no. But I don't know. It was an okay movie. That's as much as I can think about it at this moment.
Okay.
Um, just real quick, how old were you when you first saw this movie?
How old was I?
Yeah.
Probably about 14, 15.
Okay. I thought you were a lot younger when you first saw this for some reason.
I I might have been younger. I feel like I might have seen this when I was younger, because I remember seeing the DVD cover
Hmm.
of it as a kid. So it's definitely a possibility I've seen it when I was younger, but I mean, when I, as much as I can recall, I was about 14, 15 years old.
Okay. Because I was thinking, like, I feel like he might have been, like, 7 or something when he first watched this, and I'm like, this is a very, not really graphic, but had strong language for at least a younger person to be hearing.
Sure.
Um, but that's not really here nor there regarding the review of the movie. Um, but it was just good. The I don't know. A lot of the plot elements seem basic, but that might just be because this movie might have inspired a whole lot of other things that use similar plot elements, and that's why it
Sure.
might seem like a more basic film.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts on it since it is your favorite, and you haven't really ever talked to me that much about it. So,
Yeah, because I always wanted you to see it.
mhm.
Um, and I knew it wasn't going to be groundbreaking for you. I knew it wasn't going to evoke the feeling out of you because you're much more. I want to see explosions. I want to see singing. I want to see superheroes. You don't. You never. You rarely ever dive into the more drama side of things.
Hey, I love Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh, I've never seen it. You enjoyed A Beautiful Mind, but you've never fully jumped into the whole uh, drama side of movies and enjoyed them.
Hmm.
Um, but I enjoy most movies, and with this one, I feel like it was at a time when I watched this movie. It was a time of my life where I was very down, very upset, depressed. I had some of the same feelings Will did, except for the whole
Genius
genius
aspect.
part. Um, and I never really understood um, what was really holding me back. And I still struggle with that to this day. But the scenes with Robin Williams and Matt Damon between Will and Sean, they always evoke something out of me.
Hmm.
Every time I watch a clip of it on YouTube, or if I watch the movie, or even just thinking about it, it always brings this sort of emotion to me because everything that they said is so true. I mean, he is a cocky kid. Um, he's a sad kid. He's alone. He's scared. He doesn't he doesn't want what he feels is a burden, but everybody else is saying, it's really a gift, and for you to throw it all away, um, you know, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see all this lost potential. And the whole thing with Minnie Driver's character, her name was Skyla.
Hmm.
I enjoyed that too. I mean, it was just this whole dynamic of who can Will trust. I mean, he has these trust issues. He has these issues opening up to people. But there's something about this girl that kind of um, entangled him. He couldn't really figure out why he was so in love with her. But he just can never say it because he's had this abusive past. Um, and just the whole thing of you know this genius who doesn't really want to be known. He doesn't want uh, people to make a big deal out of this. I love that because we've seen it in other movies where people don't know what they have, and you even see it in everyday life where people have so much genius to them that they just can't, like, they're so smart that they can't comprehend how smart they are, and it's crazy because you look at these people and you're like, how do you not see it? Like, you see all these other things, but when it comes down to yourself, you can't see what you have, and you don't know. And it kind of goes alongside of Robin Williams. I mean, he's by far my favorite part of this movie, because of I watched this. I watched this right after his death too, and seeing what he went through and seeing what was going on through his head and seeing the performance he gave, it really told a story almost of himself, um, and how Ron Williams was a genius. He was so funny. He was so he was so ahead of the curve that he just the improvisation he had, uh, and the genius, the comedic genius he had, was unrivaled by anyone else. Though he thought otherwise, he didn't really think very highly of himself. He was an alcoholic. He was a drug user. He was always depressed. Um, and watching this movie, I just saw, I just saw a really sad man, and I honestly don't think a lot of it was acting.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was some type of, when he read the script, he saw himself in it, and he took the role on as this guidance for a character he saw himself in. And there's something beautiful about that. And so many great lines in this movie are told when Chucky is trying to get is trying to bring home one of the ladies at the bar, one of them being Minnie Driver's character, who has a thing for Matt Damon, and the really cocky guy comes up and he starts spitting all the stuff he's read in books, basically just plagiarizing it. And Will Hunting comes up and shuts him down and says, "Why don't you just have an original idea?" And then he gets Minnie Driver's number, and then one of my favorite lines in the movie is, "Do you like apples?" "Yeah." "Well, I got her number." "How do you like them apples?" It's just those little things that you're like, this kid is so cocky, but at the in the middle of the movie, you find out, oh shit, there's more to him. He's not just cocky. There's a reason to his cockiness. And at the end, where you see these two characters, Matt Damon and Robin Williams, always sitting apart from each other at either end of the room, never together. And then the whole thing where Robin Williams finally gets his pictures and says, "It's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault." And Matt Damon finally says, "Thank you." All muffled through snot and slobber and tears, just "thank you." And then the final scene of them together, they're right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They're no longer opposites. They both have come together finally, and that's just beautiful. And then the whole thing of Ron Williams' past, and why he is who he is, and the very end of the movie, hearing Ben Affleck's character Chucky saying, "You need to leave. If you don't leave and use this potential, I'll fucking kill you." He says, "Are you kidding me? It's you're literally, you know, you're spitting in all these guys' faces just being here, showing up to work. I hope every day my 10-second walk up to your door when I knock on it, I hope you never answer. I hope that you're gone. Not saying goodbye, nothing. You're just gone." And then at the end of the movie, all this stuff come into fruition. He just decides to get up and leave. He says that he needs to he needs to go see about a girl, and it's just every little thing is like a domino effect in this movie, and you see it all unfold in front of you. And maybe it's obvious, maybe it's cut and paste from other movies, but the way it's acted, the way it's written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and how it's acted by them, and the performance that Robin Williams gave that won him an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor of that year. I mean, this movie really invoked something out of people, whether it be uh, an emotion of sympathy, or whether it be an emotion of, I've been there too and I know what you're feeling, or just whatever it is. There's so many emotions in this movie. There's so many, like you said, funny parts, serious parts, parts that will make you tear up. I teared up most definitely in a few parts, especially in the parts of the therapist scenes, and it's just, there's so much stuff I love about this movie. There's so much stuff that it taught me just in the few short transactions that Will and Sean had. And I can't go without mentioning the scene that's on the cover of the movie, that's on the cover of the poster. It is the poster of them sitting in the park, and he's telling you, you don't know what what any of this stuff is. You're just cocky. You don't understand. You're scared. But you don't know what true love is. You don't know what true happiness is, because you're too afraid to subject yourself to it. And there's so many just powerful moments in this movie that you sit there and you see yourself, whether it be in a sentence or whether it be in just the whole entire character and the whole monologue of itself. It's a beautiful movie, and for that, it's my favorite. I mean, I've seen so many good movies, but and so maybe even so many better movies than this, but there's nothing that has evoked the feelings of this movie has evoked from me ever. This is just bar none my favorite, and I hope there's some understanding for why. I hope you get it. I hope you can see it.
Hmm.
It's not, I'm not asking it to change your mind. It's what you feel about it, but that's just how I see the movie, and it's brilliantly just laid in front of you, and there's no bullshit in this movie, none whatsoever, and it's good.
Hmm.
It's really good to me.
Yeah. After hearing it explained, I can see it more. I can see it better. I can see the reasons why you like it. Um, and it's fine. It's nice to finally hear your explanation of it, because you've been talking this movie up for going on 3 years now, maybe a bit longer, probably a bit longer, definitely a bit longer, maybe like 5 years, somewhere around
Probably.
there. But it's nice
Yeah,
to
and
finally just hear it.
yeah, it's special to me, and that's just all I can say. It's special, and for reasons that no one else can necessarily share. Um, it's just there's so many scenes in this movie where I personally just see myself in the characters,
Hmm.
not because I went through the exact things that they went through, but because I can take the stuff that I have experienced and that I have put myself through and people have put me through, and take their words and take it almost therapeutically as something that's like, what, though these characters are talking about something completely different. Not that I was physically abused, not that I was stabbed or beaten, or I was an orphan, I was thrown around, but there's things that I went through that, though I didn't go through the experiences, the words that were healing Will were also healing me at the same time. Um, and it's just, yeah, I'll stop talking because I can talk about this movie and go around in circles over and over again. But Justin, uh, any final thoughts? I don't know if you do or not, but if not, just go into your ratings and if you recommend or not.
This my final thought is more of just a something I noticed, and it's not really anything all too pertinent, but Ben Affleck really hasn't changed in 20 years.
No, I
30
love
years
this.
almost. Actually, it
I
has been
lo-
about 30 years.
yeah, I love.
No, 20. I'm dumb.
Yeah,
Anyways.
I love the scene where Will sends him to the business meeting.
Hmm.
He's all dressed up, and I'm like, it's a young Batman. It's a young Bruce Wayne. Look at him. He doesn't really. I mean, he's changed, of course, but he still has.
He has basically the same exact face, just
Yeah,
older.
yeah, just a little bit more scruffy.
So, anyways, on to ratings and reviews. And even though I said this movie is kind of basic, I still really enjoyed it. And I think I will give it an 8. What do you
Okay.
give it?
Um, I don't know. What would I give this movie? No, obviously, as my favorite movie of all time, I don't want to pull it apart and say there's wrong parts about it because I know there are, but because it is my favorite movie, I feel like it's safe to say I'm gonna give Good Will Hunting a 10.
And I guess the next part is kind of obvious, but do you recommend?
Absolutely.
And I do too. So, any final thoughts?
I gotta go see About a Girl.
So that's pretty much it for us, guys. Let us know down below what you think of Good Will Hunting. But until next time, guys, we'll see you later.
Bye.